Hello gentlemen, welcome to my garage. This is On Demand 2, where we're going to be looking at the light Russian heavy line. We're going to be going from the IS-3 through the IS-8 to, or the IS-8 T10 to the IS-7, getting some gameplay in each vehicle. Now, quick overview of this line, because you got two main choices obviously. You can go up the light heavy line, or you can go up the heavy line. The cost of researching both lines is similar, but obviously once you go up one, it will be a lot easier to go up the other. It's just a matter of which one you want to go up first, and my recommendation to most players who are inexperienced at the game is going to be to go up from the IS-3 to the IS-7, because these tanks are less a skill cap. They are less challenging. They are, I don't want to say less powerful tanks, because it all depends on the matchup and how you use them, but there's certainly less that you can do as a skill player to react to the situation that you're in these tanks, because they are designed with the pike nose armor formation. This is how they're designed. You point them straight at the enemy, and you're only worrying about where you're pointing the gun, pretty much, and hiding your lower plate. Those are what these tanks are about. And it does make it difficult, even in a tank with an incredibly powerful pike nose like the IS-7, if the enemy decide to shoot my lower plate, there's startlingly little I can do, because I can't angle because it'll pay my drive wheel, and if I angle I weaken parts of my upper plate, to a lesser extent on the IS-7 because it is so powerful. But you can see the difference when I switch to something like the IS-4, where it's designed to be on this angle, where I can see if the enemy is aiming at my lower plate, I can angle it. You know, those tanks have reactive armor. This line that we're going to cover today does not. Now let's hop into the IS-3 and look at it in the garage quickly. I want to have a good skill crew here, but they're all on my top tier tanks. So, the IS-3's armor was negligible until quite maybe a month or so ago, when it went into HD, and then its armor actually became overpowered, debatable. It certainly made it did a lot to make the KV-4 more obsolete, because the KV-4 is always that lumbering armored beast, but now the IS-3 has competitive armor, but it still has the same speed. That seems a little off to me. These HD bits of glory on the upper plate went up to 130 from their base 110mm, which is across the upper plate and the lower plate of this vehicle. So 130mm there means you can get some troll bounces even if you angle the upper plate poorly and they get an angle like this. Spaced armor along the side is what these tanks are famous for. If you have to engage one of these vehicles, it's best to note, never shoot this. This is spaced armor with a lot of angled surfaces beneath it. Always shoot through the tracks of the armor of the side of these tanks, but never shoot too low. You want to go through the upper portion of the track, because that way you're hitting the base spaced armor, and there's not a risk that your shell will just go under the tank, which is what will happen if you shoot too low. You can see the light from the other side of the tank shining through there. So make sure, shoot there when you get the side of these vehicles, just under the spaced armor. And you should hope, while playing them, that the enemy will just spam shots and they'll get eaten by that famous spaced armor. Now, obviously, pike nose, best thing to do in these tanks is to get in the face of your enemy. But it's debatable whether you should get too close to a tank with good gun depression. Some of the American tanks, maybe a T-32. If you're too close here, T-32 with 10 degrees of gun depression, it's going to be able to shoot down on your upper plate. It's a dangerous thing in the IS-3. So probably best effective combat range is about this, I would say. Enhances the angle on your lower plate. Your upper plate is still strong and not negated by the angle that the enemy will be shooting down on your armor. Now, the IS-3 has a fantastic turret, 249mm at the front. However, it has an overmatch range, much like the IS-4, which you can see here. That is 30mm. On the IS-3 it's even worse. That is 20mm of armor, meaning it will get overmatched by 60mm guns. Anything. I can overmatch the top of this tank in my Comet, and I have done on multiple occasions. So one of the things you can see me doing while I'm playing this tank is wiggling the top of my tank like an absolute boss and pointing my gun up, because it's always better to get a damaged gun than actually incur damage to your tank. So, That's enough looking at the armor. Let's hop into some games and see what we can do with this vehicle. And I'll continue monologuing relentlessly about the stats of this vehicle. Pilsen, what a lovely matchup. Okay, so probably what's going to happen when you first get your IS-3 is you won't like it an awful lot. I know I didn't, and that's mainly prompted because the predecessor, the IS, I mean, it's fun. You can complain about the inadequacies of the gun if you like, but we're coming onto the gun now. Although you get 225mm of pen base with your AP, which is fantastic, and your premium goes up to 265 to a 255 then, but it's not. Your rate of fire goes down. I believe on this vehicle it's something like 4.51, just off the top of my head, and then the IS is 4.88. So actually have a longer reload with the same alpha damage while going up a tier. And that puts a lot of people off the tank because it slightly adjusts the playstyle. You know, you have to play sort of less aggressively in a more powerful tank. It's an odd feeling to get used to, but I encourage you to stick with it due to the fact that the IS-3 is an amazing vehicle once you get the hang of it. You're seeing we're at top speed here of 38. I have seen 39 along flat land in this vehicle, which is odd because you'd figure that speed limit would just be 39. In any case, let's see what we can do. We're going to encounter some of the dangers of side-sniping in this vehicle, I don't doubt. Obviously, pike noses are not designed for side-sniping. This Comet has moved up aggressively, which encourages me to do the same. Alright. IS-6 is going to be done soon. That Tiger P2's just fired now. He's got a 105, which encourages me to push forward and just trade with him. I don't care about taking that kind of damage if I'm going to put 390 into a tank of equal tier. We've got to get this guy down before the bloody IS-6 comes in from the other side. Wow, really? Amazing. Okay, did fire again. Wanted to snap the shot. It's not worth taking that alpha damage while he's going to die anyway. Alright. We've got to turn around and head back to base. Let's see if we can get the mobility of the IS-6 to IS-3 to sing for us, shall we? I really don't want to lose this game to capture. If we can keep our IS-152 alive, who's in the base supported by that 12T, it's going to mean that the enemy can't push. If that guy has support, no one's going to want to come out in front of his gun. He can lock down an entire flank just by being alive. Although, it doesn't look like that's going to happen with the autoloader of the Smart Panzer in play. Alright, 416 is going out wide. There's two in the cap. I've got to push forward. That's a tracking shot with a good damage roll. I need to push forward. No, they're not capping. They're not capping. Okay. I'm going to target the FV because he's the most dangerous tank here. There goes my Dystonia again, not letting me aim at the enemy tank, which is always nice. Okay, this 12T, I really couldn't care less about him, although I just overmatched my tank like a boss. Right. IS-6 is coming back. 59 seconds on the cap, should be fine. Yeah, I'll help you, mate. Tapping oil once there, stabilise my gun. Very important with these Russian guns that have poor gun stabilisation. Let's target the STA. Hello there. Don't mind me. Ah, I was hoping to reverse side to connect that shell. Oh, what? That guy got killed there. Okay, this is not good. This guy's cheeky as fudge. See if we can secure the kill. Ah, come on! I need to target that Mutz, because he's the one that's going to kill me. Ah, gun depression failed. Ah! Where the hell did the bloody IS-6 come from? You know what I don't get in that game? Our entire team pushed into their base. I don't get how... I don't understand. Our team pushed down the 1-2-3 line with massive success. Massive success. And then I fell back to base and they all managed to die horribly. That was depressing. But saw capabilities of the IS-3. Let us move on to the T10, shall we not? Okay, so equipment set up for these Russian heavies. You want to use vert stabs. You want to use a gun rammer. And equipment is debatable. On the IS-3 with that 20.4 second aim time, you might want to go for something like a gun range drive, if not vents. Some people, usually better players who are more experienced with the IS-3, take to using optics to compensate for the appalling view range, 350, but on the T10 that's not so much of an issue, and I'd recommend vents on this vehicle so that you can increase the all-round versatility of the tank, which is what this vehicle is about. It is a med-heavy. It doesn't really find a place in this line because it's far more versatile than any other tank you're going to find in this heavy line like the Russians get. It's far faster than any other tank as well. And its gun is just that much more versatile. I mean, 4.88 is the same rate of fire that you're going to find on the IS with 390 alpha damage. And yet up here you get 440 with the same reload, which means that this gun is damn good. I mean, 258 pen, and the stabilization buffs that this tank has received mean it is a powerful vehicle at the tier. Competitive now with the WZ-11114. Before it became the T10 and was still at the IS-8, I did not think it was. The IS-8 as a platform was incredibly underwhelming. Its armor did not work. That's not to say the T10's armor is overwhelming, but it's better. But the WZ-11114 outclassed it in every way. Speed, gun performance, armor, there was no comparison. Now, the armor of the T10 is... It works in some situations. 120 out the front, that is true. 120 there and 120 there, but the lower plate has a worse angle than the IS-3 due to it being what I think is a taller tank. You can see T10 is slightly taller than the IS-3, meaning that the lower plate is taller, therefore has a worse angle for most things shooting at it. So the lower plate is weaker than the IS-3, although being 10mm thicker, which is bad, and obviously the matchmaking is higher. You're not going to encounter tier 6s in this vehicle like you would in the IS-3. You have heavy firepower now lead against you, so having a weaker lower plate is just goddamn. Now, on the upper plate you'll find thicknesses of anywhere from kind of 210 to 230 depending on the angle. Obviously effective combat range is going to be pretty damn close. That's what these pike nose forms are about. But yeah, sorry about that. People shooting at the upper plate of this vehicle will penetrate it, because the people that shoot at the upper plate of the T10 are ST1s, 258mm a pen, Waffenträgers, 276mm a pen. Like, beyond a certain penetration, there's nothing that this upper plate can do, and that's disappointing for this vehicle. And boasts it in its playstyle as well. The playstyle of this tank, it shouldn't be played as a heavy, not upfront and personal. It should be played as a opportunistic heavy, maybe at the back of every tank engagement, just supporting damage, pushing forward when it can, pushing that reload, which is a good advantage over the enemy. And you can play this tank like a medium as well. For example, taking the hill on mines is much more possible in this vehicle than in most other tier 9 heavies. Spaced armor is still there, although not as effective as it is on the IS-3 or the IS-7, and obviously shoot there, as we covered before in the IS-3. Turret is exceedingly good on this vehicle. The cupolas are not that prominent. I don't find myself getting sniped in this vehicle an awful lot. What you should do, again, is just wiggle your tongue. You want to do that with all vehicles. When you catch someone aiming at your cupola, point your gun up and wiggle if you're not aiming a shot in return. Now, the top of this tongue is 40 millimeters, meaning it can be overmatched, but that area, you can see it there. You can see that line. That is where the 40 millimeters starts, so that you can overmatch with a 120 millimeter gun. That you cannot. So, it's a fair bit of armor you've got on this vehicle. Now, what am I looking at? I'm looking at 2 E75s on our team and 1 E75 on their team. They've got a T30. It does look like we've got a heavy tank advantage. So, I think I'm going to leave my heavy tanks to deal with the town and see if I can use my mobility and awesome gun performance out on the east of this map, because that's probably where our forces are going to be weakest. Just looking at collateral damage, it looks like we've got more capable light tanks. Especially with the help of that Chief for lightweight. Okay, 50s are making the maneuver. That means I'm going to pull to the right, because I do not want to be lit up in the open out here. And that's why I don't want to be lit up in the open. Okay. Just not worth moving from the open there for those guys to clip me. There's also people who are going to be popping up on the launch line. And I'm not under any rush right now. Still don't know how the balance is going to be. Wow, looks like those E75's got one hell of an effective ambush on those 5120s. Or those 50 tonks. Alrighty. What's that T30 up to? Is he going to hold down or trying to push the middle? Obviously, I'm feathering here. Using magnetic fuel to just explore, find out if I've got a shot, but I don't want to waste time stopping here that I could be using to get closer into this fight. I'm playing an important role for my team. I am a top tier heavy. Stopping is quite often a critical mistake. Say hi, someone. It's an IS-30 there. Well, the IS-30's got poor DPM. What's that T20 up to? Not much would be the answer to that question. Okay, side sniping in the T10. How does it work? Well, probably the best bet is to go for reverse side sniping so that you don't expose your pike nose. Alrighty. So reverse side sniping is all about hiding that potentially weak portion of your tank. Ugh. Also gives you the mobility to run away instantly if you need to, which is always nice. Right, I'm feeling like I'm playing a little too passively here. I'd like to get more out of this game, so I'm going to push in, use my health a bit. Come on, shoot me, not the comet. Go on, little comet. Damn it, little comet. No! You were the only one I ever loved. Alrighty, boarding out. Shoot me! Excite me, AMX. Excite me! Did you look at that? Don't you love being in a pike nose tank that has a strength in face hugging its enemies? Yeah. Wow, that guy fired 105 millimeters of pen hash at me. Not hash! Bloody darn explosive. Alright. Oh, I nearly got him. God damn it. Come on! Russian on the move accuracy, don't fail me now! Russian speed, don't fail me now. Come on! Come on! Come on, come on. Ah, god damn it! Ah, man. So let's see how the T10 lends itself more to being med-heavy. It's certainly not capable as a heavy if it has to fight its own tier opposition, just because the fact that their armor, unless you're penning every shot, the fact that their armor will do so much good for them, and the fact that most of the time when you get into a heavy tank fight, there are going to be multiple opponents. You're not going to be able to push and exploit that rate of fire, which is one of the reasons the T10 is so powerful as a heavy tank, because its rate of fire is generally going to be better than most of its opposition. It pushes out that DPM quite nicely. So getting into a position on the medium tank flank against solo opposition that are more likely to abandon the support of their team, medium tanks are in my mind, that's where it finds its power. Much like the WZ. Wow, this guy is in an Object 263 for some reason. Let's sort that out while I talk about the IS-7. Now, the IS-7 probably has the most powerful pike nose in the entire game, in terms of... What the hell is going on? So, okay, I worked out. We have crew members now. So, most powerful pike nose in the game. You could debate for the 260, but the 260's lower plate is absolute paper. The IS-7, 150 at the front, 150 at the side, or so it says. That 150 is below that famous IS-7 spaced armor. If you want to pin the IS-7 from the side, shoot there. You'll hit 100mm of base thickness, which is the actual side armor of the IS-7. One of the reasons it's so easy to penetrate through the drive wheel or when it overside snipes is because its armor is actually a lot weaker than 150mm, as it says on paper. So 100mm, if you avoid the spaced armor of the tracks, it's the 100mm base. If you hit the tracks, you're most likely going to face about 150mm of effective armor, which you can pen with almost most tier 7 mediums if you get a good roll. Lower plate of this vehicle is powerful. You're going to pull off troll bounces on this based on the enemy getting low pen rolls, but where it finds its absolute power to being about 5, 10, 20 meters from the enemy. 20 meters is stretching it a bit. But being at this kind of distance, the lower plate becomes an auto bounce angle. The upper plate keeps its effective armor of being at over 300mm due to the effective angling of the pike nose. So you don't want to face hack, absolutely, especially not a powerful tier 10 tank destroyer like a Yakpanzer or something, who may well be able to shoot down on your lower plate with 299mm of pen. The best way to handle a situation like that would be in the IS-7 would be to keep about 5 meters between you and the Yakpanzer. That way your upper plate is still strong and your lower plate is still that auto bounce. Now, turret armor of the IS-7 is absolutely amazing. Only thing to bear in mind, the E100 and tanks like that are tool can shoot down on the overmatch region, which is here on the back of the IS-7's turret. Cupolas are pretty much non-existent, not even worth thinking about in this vehicle. But that, I've killed more than one IS-7 by shooting down on that area when he was face-hugging me. Also, something to bear in mind, good players on the IS-7 might point their gun up and wiggle it. If they do that, shoot directly under their gun mantlet, you'll penetrate every time. So, let's look at some IS-7 gameplay, see what we can do. Now, 490 half damage at tier 10 is not remarkable. You can find it on tanks like the E100 with the stock gun, tanks like the Mouse. It's not that unique and not that inspectable, considering that you've now got tanks like the Type 5 Heavy and the E100, which have 600 and 750. But it does mean that this tank can get through its enemies fairly quickly, a lot quicker than something like an E5, 215B, an IS-4. Alright, so IS-7, it's an odd tank because I want to call it a med-heavy because of its 60km or 59km/h top speed, but it's not that much faster than the IS-4 in terms of the ability to get to that speed. It won't really reach it under its own power very easily, especially in rough terrain. I use the IS-7 for the majority of the time as a medium, and one of the main reasons I do that is its hit pool is underwhelming. 2,150 is 350 less than the IS-4, It's 350 health less than 215B. Like, this is not a durable tank in any regards other than its capable armor. And so I find that fighting against mediums that have maybe 150 hit points less than you gives you that advantage, which you don't find in heavy tank combat, because although your alpha damage is 490, even tanks, if they go shot for shot with you with 440 alpha damage, you're going to die before they are, because they just have more health. That's an annoying fact about the IS-7. Now, we're an Overlord here. I'll just say this right now. Never, ever, ever in your life go to the beach on Overlord. Do not do it. Ever. If you go to the beach in Overlord, you are stupid. It is really, really, really dumb. Almost as dumb as what I just did. Alright. +1 for retaliation. Alright. So obviously exposing myself there was a bit stupid, but I wanted to get into the side here because I thought it was a weakly armoured force. Unfortunately, it's not, which means I want to have multiple lines of engagement here. Just down here, not liking me again. Alright. So I don't want us all to be in one place. I don't want these guys to be able to mass and assault on us and kill us all at once. It looks like our team is doing okay in the middle of the map. I'm concerned about the arty, but I'm quite content to leave this engagement going at the pace that it is. As long as the enemy don't make any headway here, I'm quite happy. Alright, so let's do a baiting maneuver, shall we? Let's aim our chunk over this way. Make sure we've got the chunk aimed on this location. So I've locked my chunk aim the other way, and gee, I'm glad the arty missed me, otherwise he would have done a load of damage. Thank God he didn't hit me. Awesome. Playing the IS-7 like an absolute noob. This is how you do not play the IS-7, for anyone wondering. God dang it. Okay, TVP's having some fun. Cool, cool, cool. Team's being pushed back in the middle. That archer is going to kill me soon. Just keep reversing, go forward. Trying to bait him. Now, this alarms me. Where's that Object 140 gone? From the looks of things on the map, I imagine he's relocating to help his team in the middle. So what I'm going to do is relocate into the middle. That way I can still support this eastern flank if I need to. But I'm also versatile to engage whoever else. So in this game, like this Waffenträger, for example. Now I'm going to pull up on the left side of the rock because it gives me cover from multiple angles. Maybe this gentleman will show his beautiful tongue to us. I don't want to push up here because of the enemy arty, basically. Oh, TVP. Oh, nice fire. Okay, right. Got opportunities now. That T-34-2's got bigger balls than I have. Jeez. Okay, where's this guy? Yeah, a lot of camp going on back there. Not something I fancy exposing myself to. Opportunities. There seems to be another big stone here. Let's see if we can put it to good use. So this is always alarming. I mean, 5 degrees of gun depression on the IS-7 means that you do expose your lower plate in a lot of situations while you're twisting. That's not good when you're on IS-7. Yeah, FV's tank armor is not so remarkable. Now, the M40's gotta be up here, I think. So I'm gonna try and use this lock as cover. Oh, we can put a damage into that. Ah, I'm dead. And Fully's gonna wreck my world. Ugh. I feel like I'm overcommitting here. There's still a full health 268. Now, if he decides to get off his ass and come kill me, there's gonna be nothing I can do about that. I'm gonna fall back. I'm so isolated right now, you know?
Ready to fire. Penetration. Let's find another target.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Come on, IS-7, come on. Ah! Thank you, fine sir. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Ah, he bounced an APCR shell off me. That was pleasant. Obviously, trying to use the lay of the land on my way out there to shield myself. What the hell happened to our TVP? This game's getting difficult. Okay, there's why you don't overcommit. Lunge line, I need a lunge line. So I got to a lunge line, that way I could put out a shot and fall back into an area where I'm safe. Oh! Ho ho! Okay, beautiful things. Oh, pig! Pig! Sounds like the pig missed to me. Still got a 268 on most of his health. That's going to be alarming, but once that pig falls, we're going to have an arty advantage. Oh, come on, T44, please kill the pig. Beautiful. Okay, so, best chance of winning is probably to pull out our arty advantage. Keep vision up. And spot. And whatever we do, do not get into a close quarters engagement where we can get ambushed. Okay. So we should kill a WT, because right now, we know the WT is isolated. If we find him elsewhere, we know he's isolated. Attacking that 268 who's in the middle, he could be receiving support of the Waffenträger from anywhere. We've got 6 minutes to work. We want to keep our arty in play. The Waffenträger could well be relocating around the other side of the map. Right now, I'm not content to attack that 268 because he's so out in the open. The Waffenträger is most likely going to relocate back to there, so it's best we attack from elsewhere. We want to spot for our arty. If our arty dies, the situation becomes a lot more difficult. And right now, even the HE shell from that 268, almost likely the Waffle will take me out. Let's see what we can do. Oh, damn it, one of the tanks is playing music. I didn't ask it to do that. Shenanigans! Okay. I'm a bit ahead of my T44, which does alarm me. Alright, so the situation that I'm foreseeing, I'm going to take the high ground here because it's always better. Situation that I'm foreseeing is that. Okay, beautiful. Should go and make that engagement as he's isolated. Hopefully the 268 won't get off his ass and shoot me and mine. Worth a shot at this point. Okay, he's going to be pushed back by the T44, so I'm going to aim here. Okay, 268 move, beautiful. Alright. So, optimum thing to do. The 268 is fast. It's based on the hull of the IS-8. God damn. Come on, come on, come on, IS-7, show me something. That didn't track him, come on. Come on. IS-7. Come on, I know you're faster than this guy, I know it. Come on, find a hold down. Find a hold down location. Okay, here we go. Okay, element of surprise is the only thing that can only win it for us here.
Penetration. Ready to fire. We're immobilized.
Come on, come on. I'm hugging his side so that he can't turn. Loading a HE shell after this. Oh! Oh! Oh god damn! Oh! Oh no! So long to do that to Asher. Oh god! Whew! Hype! Hype! Oh god damn! You know what? On demand is fun. We always have such fascinating games. Gentlemen, hopefully you've got a good idea of the Russian light heavy line. They are some capable tanks. And yeah, until next time, feel free to drop your tank line that you'd like covered in the description. In the comments. I do have a list that I'm going to be going through with the on-demand videos. But yeah, until next time, gentlemen, farewell.
Jingle! Sure. No. It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Can you stop camping, please, killer?